Turn the page, light the spark. Magic lingers after dark. Plot twist, heartbreak, dragons too. Book club chaos coming through. Spoilers fly and curses sweep. Grab your favorite fantasy ship. Nikki and Justine are here. Your new book besties in your ear. Welcome to the Uncensored Authentic Book Club podcast, where the stories are magical and the opinions are unhinged.
Hi. Welcome. Welcome to the Uncensored Authentic Book Club podcast. We are your hosts, Nikki and
Justine.
just two girls who love books and honestly love talking about them even more. So, if you are someone who gets way too invested in fictional characters, has strong opinions about plot twists, or just loves a good book chat, you're in the right place. We are excited to book club with you guys today. But before we dive in, a real quick heads up. This is your official warning. Warning. There will be spoilers and some language. But basically spoilers, guys. We talk about characters, plot twists, developments, our feelings about it, everything, okay? And today we are going over Adversary to the Villain Part 2. So this is going to be chapters 11 through chapter 40. That's where we decided to pause for this one. And then in the next episode, we'll cover the rest of the book. This book is, to me, a little bit insane. I think the writing has changed
It does seem like
so
the writing
much
has changed a little bit.
in
Yeah.
it. And there are points that I'm absolutely loving and giggling over and just like swooning. And then there are other points where I'm like, all right, let's keep moving.
Yeah.
And we'll get into all of that.
Sure will.
Yeah. Justine, do you want to start us off?
So we pick up right when they're like, holy crap, all the magical locks have gone away. They've all busted. So
They busted. They're gone.
So we are now faced with the fact that everyone who's in the dungeons
Yeah.
can get out of the dungeons.
Which they knew about this, and this is a few days before all the locks failed, and they're like, "Oh, like we'll just put on these like real locks."
These real locks.
Yeah, these real
like
like
water
pattern locks
is like what I was thinking.
instead. And I'm like, wouldn't it just be easier just to kill them all? Like the ones you don't need anymore?
I don't understand why Tristan has so many people in his dungeons, because like his method is like not to store them away for later.
No,
It's
he
to torture
them
them
and
kill
get the
them.
answers and then kill them.
Yeah.
So I don't
So-
understand why all these creatures are in there.
I
and
have
enemies.
no clue either. I don't understand how he caught some of these creatures.
Yeah, one of them's like, what was it, an ilk or a
Silk.
Silk?
I think it's called a silk. And it like can transform into anything it has seen.
Yeah, it's like a shifter essentially.
Yeah. But I'm like, how did Tristan catch that?
Why
And
does Tristan
Why
have
does
that?
Tristan have that? And why does he just have it sitting in his dungeon?
Right.
So like
I don't know.
I don't know. But so there's a giant storm going on, right? And as this storm goes on, that's when the locks completely like fail officially. And the lights all go out. There's Tristan is in the kitchen with Lysa, and she's arguing with him whether a fork is
Is it
better.
Lysa?
Lysa. It's Lysa. That's my bad.
Okay. I was like, oh my god, have I been saying Lysa this whole time for 4 books and it's been Lysa?
No, it's Lysa.
I was about to have an extension of a crisis. I was like, okay.
That's my bad. But they're arguing whether a fork or a whisk is better to like mix stuff for like cooking or baking.
And how to enact the prophecy and the metaphor and all that
Yes,
stuff.
yeah. And the lights go out, and then Lysa screams,
Mhm.
and then she's gone. They can't find Lysa. They're like, oh my god, what happened? Someone took her. So Blade goes running. What's his name? Gideon goes running. Tristan's looking for Lysa, and Gideon meets up with Evie, and he's like, Lysa is missing. The lights went out and she disappeared. She screamed, we can't find her. And Evie's freaking out. Everyone's freaking out, right?
Mm-hmm.
So Evie runs down to where the dungeons are for some reason. That's her first thought to where to look for her sister. And she hears Tristan meets her down there because of course he does. It's like he has like
Everyone ends up meeting
a
down
sonar.
there.
Yeah, everyone just gathers all the time. They have like trackers on each other. I don't know.
They have the where's my iPhone trackers.
So everyone gathers down where the dungeons are, and Evie hears Lissa on the other side because they padlocked all the entrances to the dungeon, right? Physically. And here's Lissa on the other side, and she's like, "Oh my god, like we have to get in there." And like I'm sitting here thinking, Evie, that's not Lissa. How the fuck did Lissa get there? Let's talk about this.
Well,
Let's think rationally.
Yeah, I was thinking like, oh my god, who took her? Which prisoner got out and took her and brought her back
But
there?
why would they have re-locked themselves back
No,
up into the
I
dungeon?
don't. It was critical thinking.
So I was like, Evie, this is not Lissa. Like, let's think. So, and Keely's like, wait, Evie, like, don't do anything crazy. And Evie's like, we need to bust the door down. It's time to just bust it down.
Her magic, I think, kind of like just takes over.
It does. It
her
kind of
for
overwhelms her
sure.
for sure.
Yeah.
So
that's a theme throughout these next couple of chapters.
Yes. She
Yeah.
busts the door down, and what's sitting in front of her is not Lissa. It's a rabbit.
Yeah.
And she's like, the fuck just happened? And she
I
hears
said, what the
Lissa-
fuck just happened? Why is there a rabbit?
She's like, did somebody turn Lissa into a rabbit? Was it Winnie? What's happening? What's going on? So and then she hears Lissa talking behind her. So she turns around and Lissa's like right there. And she's like, how the fuck? And Lissa's like, what do you mean? You just busted down the door. Why the fuck did you bust down the door? Oh, look, a rabbit. How cool. It's not a rabbit. It's the silk. And the silk transforms from this rabbit to this giant octopus creature.
The best way I could describe it is like a kraken.
Like a
slash
kraken.
octopus. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the thing. But like, I don't know how it's walking or moving.
But
I
out
just
of
know
the
that it
water.
has tentacles.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen, oh God, The Umbrella Academy?
No.
Okay, well, if anybody's ever seen The Umbrella Academy, there's a boy, I think his name is Ben, I can't remember exactly, but like his power is like he's a boy, right? He's human, but his power is like these tentacles come out of his back. That's what I pictured. Like a form of a human type thing, and then tentacles coming out to like,
What an
I don't know.
power.
That's what I pictured.
Yeah, that's what the silk is. And Keely's like, that's the silk. I mean, this
He's
is
like,
why
I told you guys not to do
this
this.
is why I said do not bust down the door.
No, I
But
gotta go kill all these people.
whatever, here we go. So now the door's open, right?
Yeah.
The door is wide open. The silk is
Loose.
grabbing people and like being crazy and shit. And so they get away from the silk. And then we have a cute moment between Keely and Gideon, which made me.
I love all of the couples. I
I
do. However,
Yeah.
do they need to be a part of the main plot
No,
in
It's-
this capacity?
it prolongs things.
Yes. Like this, honestly,
Like
I
the
think this book could
story.
be probably 40 chapters. If you
Yeah.
think about it, if like all of the other stuff wasn't
Other
in it.
POVs, wasn't it? weren't in
Yeah.
it? Yeah. No, I completely agree. And I think that's why all of those are in it to make it beefier.
I mean, it's supposed to be like a fun, whimsical kind of book. So
Yeah.
I don't know.
I'm kind of fine with it right now because I love all the couples coupling and I
do
love
the
seeing
couples. Yes.
all of the couples couple and like it's getting a little saucier.
Oh,
and, like,
yes.
I'm about that life.
yeah,
but
it is
this
getting
show-
saucier.
Gideon and Keely go one way, right? And they're fighting off this bad guy. And I don't remember what bad guy it is, but they're fighting him off. And they get him. And well, Gideon's fighting him. Keely comes up and like she ends him.
She like throws him out the window or something.
Yeah, and Gideon says something quirky and Keely kisses him.
Yeah.
And then he's like, holy fuck.
Right.
That just happened. And she heard chaos coming from behind them and she turns around to go towards to fight the chaos. And she turns around and says, I was meant to do that. Like I meant to
that
do
was
that
on
one.
purpose. Yeah.
And then just kept running to chase like more escaped prisoners. And Gideon's
Yeah.
just standing there like, what the
Confused.
fuck is happening right now?
Yes. I was the same way, Gideon. I was the same way. I was like,
Same.
Keely, I love this, but like, what is happening?
Where did it come from also? Because like
Right.
before this happened, like Keely was seeming like she really hated
Well,
Gideon
in
in
the
this
third
book.
book, they did have that little makeout session, getting the female
The female
guard or
guard.
whatever out
Yeah.
of the thing. But
Yeah.
like that was like a I don't know, the world's ending kind of thing, I guess maybe. I don't know, like last thing. But so like this was supposed to be on purpose, which is okay, great. It was very random though.
It was very random, which
Yeah.
is
I
fine.
like. Yeah.
It's fine. But so everyone's fighting everybody, and then like I feel like all of a sudden, like that's done.
Yeah, 100%.
You know what I mean?
Literally, it was like the next page. It was like, okay, so no one else came for us. No more bloodshed. And I was like,
Yeah. And then like
what?
also like
Because
Winnie's
Winnie,
here,
yeah.
and she relocked people up. And I'm like, wait,
She
when did
also-
Winnie get there?
Well, Winnie's there from Arthur's sacrifice in the sky. So she came, she's there, and she turned one of the lords that Tristan had
Into a
that was
snail.
mean to Rebecca into a snail that listened,
Yeah.
then named Blossom.
Yes.
And
Alyssa's
Winnie's
pet
like,
now.
and then I guess Tristan was like, Winnie, you could lock the door.
Oh, let's
Beforehand.
see. I just feel like everything in this book is like, we could have done that.
Yeah.
Or, we could do this, I guess.
There's not a lot of, I feel like in the first book, it was like a lot of planning. Like, we have to get ahead of Benedict, so we have to do blah, blah, blah,
Yeah.
blah, blah, blah. And like in this one, they're like, oh, yeah, I guess we could have done that. Or like, oh, yeah, we're doing that now. And it's like, why didn't you do that as the first step? Like, Winnie is a half enchantress, I'll call her. She's an enchantress, but like, doesn't really know a lot, but she could do
Yeah.
something.
Yeah.
So like, why did you not be like, oh, the magic's failing when you had a few days beforehand, along with the little padlocks, go, Winnie, do you think you could help us with something?
Yeah, I
Like,
don't know. I
yeah.
feel like it's very scattered and like I don't know, because like everyone knows that we love this series. Like,
Oh my God,
it's
yeah.
I literally love it. I just feel like this book is like you reach into a bag of cats and then you just pull one out randomly, and that's the way we're going. You know what I
Yes.
mean?
Yes.
And I feel like the time between things is like just
Too
throwing me
short.
off.
Yeah.
I'm just like, because like every time they would travel in one of the other books, it was like lengthy. Like we got onto Fluffy,
Yeah.
we flew over Hickory Forest, and like
Mhm.
now it's like, oh, we need to leave. Blink, we're back at the manor, and I'm like,
This is what happened. And you're like, wait a minute. Wait a minute.
what about all the traveling? Because like that's where we got the meat of our information. Like when
Yeah.
Tati, Claire, Tristan, and Evie were riding on horseback through the forest, and they're headed to the bridge where the trolls are, like, and they're talking, and Evie smells the flower. Like, where is all
Yeah.
that? Why is all that gone now? It's
Yeah.
just gone.
Yeah, it is. And I think part of it is because we do know most. I'm going to say that we know most of the prophecy now because we've had the 3 other books. So we
Yeah.
know, I guess, essentially where it's going, but you don't know where it's going to go because they're
No.
fighting destiny and fate and this prophecy and they're trying to get it ahead of time, and all this. So you don't know which way it's going to go. So,
And
like,
they're fighting destiny and fate, but Lissa's writing a book about destiny
that's
and
why
fate.
I am so scared.
I'm like confused.
There
Is-
was also, this is probably skipping ahead a little bit because I can't. No, this is part of it too. Because doesn't she like have a really weird dream, and then she like starts walking out, and it's destiny.
yeah, I was going to talk about that next. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
literally the destiny
So
monster.
she like has like this weird dream where she's like going up the stairs, and like something in her head's like, "Hey, don't go up the stairs." And it's like a weird vision of
And
her
it's like-
family
it's
being
like a
happy.
Yeah, it's like
Yeah.
a happy dream, but
But
like
it's destiny
feels
leading her to
something
her
off.
death,
yeah,
essentially.
literally through the castle to her death.
Yeah, so she's gonna like jump off a parapet or whatever. And so she decides, oh, I'm not doing that. She snaps out of this vision. And Destiny's like, you know, I'm trying to write the story the way I want it to be written, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
And she's like, well, good luck with that, blah, blah, blah. And then Destiny says something, and this is where it scares me. I can't remember the exact wording, but she says something like, well, I'll rewrite it so you don't remember. Or something like that.
She gives
And
them
I was like-
until All Hallows Eve, and if they
Which is in
don't,
2 months.
which is
So
in
we have
2 months.
This is everything's assuming gonna happen within 2 months.
yep, if they don't essentially like stop her before
Yeah.
that time, Tristan will not remember.
That's what I'm
Evie.
thinking. She's gonna have and she has other books, so this isn't the last one. So it's gonna happen. Someone, I don't know which one or both of them, I don't know. Someone's gonna forget their memories and
other.
forget everything, and I'm gonna be pissed.
Yep, and it makes more sense,
And
to
that's
me
why we mentioned that Lissa.
that Lissa
is
was
writing her
writing that
book.
story, which is so strange. And because Lissa names Which one? Fate or Destiny?
Fate. She means
Fate.
Fate, Moira.
Moira, and Destiny's name is just Destiny.
Yeah.
So like I'm like, what? Why is she writing this book while this stuff is happening? Is
Right.
she like foreseeing the things that are
But her
gonna
magic is
happen?
Starlight.
Her magic is Starlight, but at the same time,
And Gideon's is shielding. Did we know that before?
yeah,
When did we know that? I don't remember that at all. But we knew that before?
I thought we knew that before. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
I don't remember it.
because
That's all.
he would like shield his mom's magic, like
Oh,
almost
you're right.
like
Absorb
suppress
it.
it.
Yes.
Yeah,
Right,
yeah.
right.
He just
You're
used
right,
it
you're right.
differently, I think.
Yeah. Which also, Nora Sage, gone.
She fucking left.
She was like,
Fucking
she tried to like, she was like, oh, can't you forgive me, Evie? And Evie's like, no, you took my
No.
magic and you didn't accept me for who I was. I'm not gonna be gentle with you just because you're sad about it. And
Yeah.
she fucking left. She just
fucking
like
left.
packed her stuff and left.
Well, first of all, Gideon was kind of trying to defend Nora at first, and she was like,
Yeah.
Evie, like, she's also been through a lot. Like, and he was like, I don't give a fuck. How much have I been through? Because
Right. No
of
one's
what she
nice
did.
with me.
No
Yeah.
one is nice with me. No one is cutting me a break. Like, I don't care. And then Gideon finds her, Nora, trying to escape the manor without saying anything to Evie again, leaving Lissa again, leaving Evie again to care for Lissa. And
I
doing
love
all
this scene though
shit.
too.
Oh, me too. I love
Because
this.
because when Nora's like, you'll understand when you have children. She's like, no, I
No.
have a child. I raised a child and I would never do this to Lissa. And I'm like, that's right, Evie.
What do you think I've been doing since you actually left us?
Yeah.
It's raising your child. Like,
Yeah.
she's my own child. I would never and have never left her. Lissa
She was
has
a
been
baby. She was literally rockabye baby
Yeah.
when her mom left.
when her mom
She's
left.
because she's 10 now.
Yeah.
Lissa's 10. So
Yeah.
that was 10 years ago.
Yep.
Yeah.
I was flabbergasted when Gideon saw her. And like Gideon and Keely were having another moment. And like Keely was gonna tell him something.
She was.
And like
But I think it was-
still don't know what
I
that
think
is.
it was her feelings for him.
It could have been her feelings.
In a sense.
Yeah, it could have been her feelings, but he like stopped her because he
Yeah,
saw
he's like,
Nura doing
"Shit,
something.
I want to be in
super-
this moment with you, but I gotta go
But, like,
handle some family
That's
stuff.
my mom. I gotta go.
My mom's
get
trying
her.
to leave. I gotta go.
I see her doing sketchy ass shit over there. I'll be back.
Like, hold on.
Hold that thought.
Put a pin in it for
But
me.
then Keely follows him essentially because like once again everyone's fucking there.
Kristen also was there too.
Well, he appeared out of nowhere. It literally said that, like he popped out almost like he was summoned behind Evie because like Nura was like, Evie, like, will you forgive me or whatever? And she was like, Tristan. And he just emerges from behind and he's like, please walk my mother out or escort my mother out of here.
Warner
And he's
Grove,
like, yeah, sure, absolutely. But he just appeared. Like, where's these people coming from?
I don't know.
And how do they know when things are happening, where things are happening at all times? How do they know these things?
I don't know. And then they had a meeting.
So many meetings.
Like, it
It's
doesn't.
confusing.
Yeah, it doesn't make a lot of sense. And I'm trying to give it the benefit of the doubt because, like, again, these books are whimsy. The Valiant Guard, the hero, the villain.
Yeah.
Like, they're supposed to be kind of like fairy tale-esque, whimsical things. But at the same time, I feel like the first three books also have like their own story, their own plots.
Yeah.
This was just like, let me just throw this out there. Let me
It's,
just throw
like,
gumdrops
wild.
out there. Let me just throw a giant out there. Fee, fi, fo, fum in it. Let's just go throw in Hansel and Gretel while we're at it. Like, I'm like, hold on.
Yeah.
Like,
That
we're
part-
losing the plot.
I was at the gym when I listened to that part. We're not on that part yet, but I want to say that I was at the gym and I finished like a set and I was like, wait, what's happening?
Yeah, I know.
Confused. I had to rewind because I was like, how did we get here?
Yeah.
It's not like I disassociated. How did I get here? I don't
Yeah.
know. But
No.
before that happens, Tati runs into Blade and Rebecca
Mm-hmm.
and Lissa.
No.
No. Just
Rebecca.
Blade
They
and
were playing
Rebecca.
they were playing basketball, but ball basket, I
Ball
think.
basket.
Because they came up with the idea to create these, I guess, baskets to capture
To
the
capture
guarves.
the dwarves.
They're gonna
Yeah.
set a trap at the nest, hopefully
Well,
to like
yes.
catch them.
And Blade and Becky were arguing a little bit because Blade's like, I think we need to use Lissa's starlight magic
Yeah.
to get the guarves, the baby guarves. And Becky's like,
"Absolutely
no,
not. She's
we
a
can't
child."
use her. She's a baby.
Yeah.
So, and they're like arguing back and forth, and Tatiana like smashes into them, and she's like, Kingsley and blah blah, blah. And they're like, what are you talking about? What's going on? What did I miss?
It was
And so I'm
very
like,
hectic.
guys, this is me the whole book. So they run after Tati. Tati's running in a direction. All of a sudden, we flash to Claire's point of view, or Kingsley's point of view. So Kingsley
Well, he
is
was saving Winifred from a falling roof or something like that.
Yeah. But he's also been running around nude and still like going from frog to human to
Shifting.
frog. Yeah, still shifting.
Yeah.
So he finds himself in this little room and he's back into human and he's like throwing up over the window because the change is like it's like very physical. Yeah. And he hears Claire coming up and he's like, oh, here we go. So Claire's like, I told you to stay put and why didn't you ever listen to me and all this shit. And poor Kingsley can't even fucking talk right now. All he's doing is like croaking out like one word answers that are like super raspy. So he's trying to communicate and he's having a hard time. And Claire gives him a hard time about his hair for some reason. And I'm just like, okay. And then Tati and Becky and Blade all come in and they're like, who the fuck is this? And they're like, well, this is and Becky's like, well, that's Kingsley, because like I've seen his portraits hanging on the wall in his castle. So like that's who that is. This is nuts. And Blade's like, what? Blade is suspicious. He's suspicious from that moment. I feel like he's very wary of the fact that that is now Kingsley. Because he mentions something else later that is like, I wrote down because I was like, Blade is suspicious of Kingsley right now.
Blade and Kingsley both have said in like their own POVs, like knowing this person that was off, or like I know how to read their looks, or I'm like, what are we doing? Why are we assessing our friends here?
Yeah, and they're both doing it. Yeah. So I'm like, that's strange, right? So they're like, okay, well, obviously we need to tell Tristan that Kingsley is here, A, and B, a human sometimes. We need to tell him. And Claire's like, it's not time, which I don't understand that.
She's like, I want time to fix what I broke. And I'm like, Claire, this isn't about you.
This
man spent the past 10 years trying to find a way to get him to be a
break
human.
this curse.
This is his best friend.
Yeah. Like, what do you mean you're just gonna hide him in his own castle? And then I feel like we blink again, and they're all sitting in the kitchen, and they're like, "So this is Kingsley," and Tristan's like, "Oh fuck, hey Kingsley,
right?
You're human." And I'm like, "Wait,
I'm so pissed that
I didn't decide."
With all these POV chapters, though, too, I'm pissed that I didn't get a Tristan chapter about his friend.
Yeah, that's
because it's been in the other ones. Where he's had paragraphs saying like, I miss my best friend, or like I feel bad that I can't help him, blah, blah, blah. So I didn't get almost nothing to say like my best friend's a human. Like none of that. We got it's weird seeing him in human form again. I'm glad he's okay. Let's figure out if we can figure out how to keep him human. And I'm like,
that's all. They were just searching for him. He had search parties for Kingsley looking for him in the Hickory Forest. That's why I'm so confused. There has to be something. Like there has to be some sort of like time warping, time traveling.
Maybe it's the magic fading.
Maybe
we're just making up excuses for
it. We could be, but it doesn't seem, it's not the same. Like it's I can't see the first 3 books being written like this. So I feel like there has to be a reason that we're like jumping around essentially, because why was Tristan just like, oh yeah, cool. Kingsley.
Like, cool, Kingsley. Like, let me give you a pat on the back.
Hey, how's it going? I really missed you. Like, did I miss something? Where's the big, like, reunion? Where's the,
where's the hugging? Where's the crying? Where's the, I'm so sorry, I couldn't help you. I'm going to do everything I can to keep you. Like, nothing. Not even, like, internally in his own POV.
No.
None of it.
No.
None of it.
I will say, though.
What?
While they're in this kitchen and Kingsley is revealed and they're talking about yet another plan.
To get a key.
To get a key.
They need Why did they need? Who told them they needed a key?
I don't fucking remember.
That was
I
that was gambled away to a.
to a giant.
Oh, what's his face? Lionel. The curse consultant. They invite him over, and they're like, "Oh, hey, like, can you tell us about?" He's like, "Yeah, he's gonna sometimes be a frog, sometimes be a human. That has to do with him. The original Enchantress has to undo it, whatever." And they're like, "Okay, well, we also need like information about how to do this prophecy." And he's like, "Oh, you need this key," and they're like, "Oh, well, wouldn't Benedict know that too?" And they're like, "Shit, we need to go get that key." And then immediately,
they're there.
and
yeah,
like,
but while they're talking in the kitchen, Winnie comes up.
yes,
And Kingsley is like feeling very protective.
he's
over
very weird reactions to Winnie.
And like there's a point
He's like looking for her, and he's like, "Why am I looking for her?
Why am I seeking her out?" And there's a point where Tristan says, "You have eyebrows now. Mind them, you oaf." Because like he's like his like eyebrows are like raised, and he's like looking at Winnie like weirdly, and she's feeling uncomfortable, and Tristan's like, "Dude."
My theory is, you know how like true love breaks your curse.
Yeah,
I think when she like licked her napkin or whatever to wipe him off, it broke half of the curse. But if they were to fully kiss, I think it would actually break the curse.
Nikki,
that's my theory.
Okay, I like that theory.
Why it took days though for it to like enact and not just like immediately happen, like Princess and the Frog type shit, like you kiss them and they turns into a human. I don't know. Maybe because it was only half the kiss.
Maybe it was just saliva. It was just a little lick.
Let me get that for you, sweetheart.
A little licksy. And like Kingsley was always kind of enamored by Winnie as soon as he saw her, even like when he was in the kitchen. He was always kind of like starstruck.
He didn't like that she tried to kill him.
Well, no, but such is life.
Know, it happens.
But yes, so they're looking for this key. First of all, they decide that Lissa, Blade, and Becky are going to get the Guarves.
Which they do this behind essentially Evie's back. They all bring it to her. Without her knowledge,
and she kind of blames Tristan.
So betrayed. She's like, "You knew about this," and he's like, "Tristan's like, no, I really did not."
Yeah.
But Lissa's being Lissa, and she's like, "I don't need you. I'm okay. Like, I've got this. Like, I can do it." And Evie's like, "Of course you can. You're amazing. Do your thing."
But then she kind of feels heartbroken because she's like, "You don't need me," and like that's like Evie's biggest fear is people not needing her or wanting her. Yes, yeah. So she's kind of like, "Okay, I mean, I understand that you can do this, but like at the same time, I feel like I'm gonna cry."
Right?
Yeah. So they go do that, and then Tristan and Evie go to find the key. And this is where
an actual physical key.
And this is where Justine gets all sorts of fucking
Nikki
confused.
And it was the weirdest fucking thing in the world. I'm like, are we fucking bringing in like Jack and the Giant Beanstalk thing right now? And are we really bringing in Hansel and Gretel and the creepy witch?
Yeah. I was literally so fucking confused. I was like, first of all, how did we get here? Does anybody remember?
They had horses. They were on horses.
They rode horses.
Yes.
How did they know the direction they were supposed to go? And
Lionel did say the Southern Kingdom, or towards the Southern
Kingdom. I missed that completely. Then I feel like there are some like
that was mentioned.
There are portions of this book that I feel like I'm like, am I in a fever dream? I don't remember any of this happening, and I just read it.
Before we get into what actually happens with the giant and Greta, the supposed witch, from Hansel and Gretel. My thing is, yes, this is a fun, whimsical, fairy tale-y type of book, but no other references were mentioned until now, and this is book 4.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, you could probably say, oh, the Princess and the Frog, kind of, with kissing the frog, turning into a prince, like, but it's not. This was fee, fi, fo, fum.
Yeah.
Her name, the giant's name, was Fee.
Fee. Yeah.
And then the girl was literally in a house of sweets.
Yes.
There was cooking pot,
a huge cauldron. Yeah.
Her name was Greta, which is close to Gretel, Hansel and Gretel.
Yep.
All right. Like, it was very story, but let me take it out. And I'm like, I don't understand where this came from.
I thought that I was listening to a different book. I was like, I'm so confused as to why we're here. And because they're running from this giant, right?
Yeah, because they think she's trying to step on them.
Right, exactly.
And Greta's like, hey, over here. Like, come on in.
So they run into this cottage that's made of literal like cookies.
Gingerbread. He literally says it's stale gingerbread.
Yeah. So they run into this cottage and they're like, oh my God, how freaking weird is this? Like,
yeah. And
Evie's
like, something's up. And Tristan's like, oh, no, it's fine. Like, let me eat some treats. And then, yeah.
And then, but they're kind of like held captive there.
She's like, okay, like Evie's like, okay, we're gonna go now. And she's like, no, you're not. And she like brands or burns her or something when she tries to open the door. And she's like, what the hell? And Greta's like, you're the wicked woman. You're the villain. I want to make sure this man doesn't, is okay before you go anywhere. And he's like, no, like, trust me, I want to be here.
Trust me, I'm good.
Totally fine being here, manhandled by her. And then she's like, then Evie's like, on 3, run with me. And they run to the back of the room. And they lock themselves in this room, no windows, of course. They find the big cauldron and immediately they think they're going to be alive, which happens in Hansel and Gretel. Spoiler alert if you've never read that, the witch cooks the children or tries to. And so they're like, oh my God, we're going to be cooked. And what's his face? Tristan's like, oh, it's okay. I have an idea. Let's pour over the boiling water. It should melt the cookies because the house is made of cookies.
Yeah.
Spoiler alert, it doesn't. Greta gets in and she's like, what the hell are you guys doing? Other than having a lover's quarrel. And they're like, you're going to eat us. And she's like, you think I'm going to eat you?
Yeah, she's
no,
like,
that pot of food was for Fee. I'm her chef.
Yeah.
Fee like lifts up the roof and is like, hey, what the hell are you doing? I cleared a path for you guys and you're running from me and you spilled my dinner. Like, what is going on? And so they're like, oh, okay. Roof gets put back on. They go outside and they have a conversation.
Like, tell me that's not something.
I'm not exaggerating.
I was standing there just like looking into the abyss. Like, where are we?
The first giant they meet on this journey for giants, right? Because they weren't told who had the key, which giant had the key or anything like that. So that implies that there's more of them. The first giant they meet happens to have the key.
Yeah. And she's like, Fee, I guess, is a girl.
Fee is a she, I guess.
Yeah, she's like, you have to do something special to get this key or whatever. And Kingsley's like, yeah, fuck you. Kingsley's there.
Yeah, Kingsley and Marv Kingsley and Malcolm.
They're just like, oh, it's fine. We got it. Kingsley grabs it and they leave.
Yeah, Malcolm like throws him like a baseball. Yeah, Kingsley grabs it as a frog and then like leaps back down and then they leave. And I'm like, you mean to tell me that as they're leaving, the stupid giant didn't just step on them?
Hey, stop.
Like, it was so weird.
And then they're back at the manor.
Yeah, like nothing happened. And they have this white key with like purple things on it or something like that. And I'm like, what? Why?
So Malcolm's there.
Yeah.
Kingsley shares the frog. And everyone's like, oh, that's cool. We'll talk about it once we get back to the manor.
Well, because once they get back to the manor, now, are they searching for the book now? Or are they...
Well, Blade and Becky come back with the Gwarves.
Would have the Gwarves.
Because meanwhile, while
Gideon and Keely go on their little adventure.
To Mo. Yes, to Mo. Oh my God, I almost forgot about that. I was like, also, what is happening? So, but Lissa ends up being able to use her starlight magic and grabs the Gwarv babies. But
yeah, so I guess she was just supposed to like make them come to life again, like in the eggs. And so that way the Gwarves
they were already hatched though.
But no, they weren't. They were still in the eggs.
They were still in the eggs.
And so I guess she gave too much magic that they then hatched. And they were like, oh, let's just steal the little baby Gwarves. And they did.
Well, while we're here. They liked Becky. They took a liking to Becky, the little like baby Gwarves.
It's like adorable, but I'm like, okay.
They do. It's like Becky is their mother. I don't know if that's like she's the first one that they saw when they hatched or whatever, but
right.
They imprinted.
Or she has like that whole magic
Becky.
Thing with plants and stuff. So maybe she's like one with earth.
Plants, creatures. Yeah. But so they grab the baby Gwarves and they head back, and like everything seems so simple. Yeah. Like, how were they able to just find the exact giant that had the key? How were they able to just, oh, look, 2 baby Gwarves, they hatched, let's just take them?
When Lissa did it, when she was like, well, how do I use my magic? And like Tati or someone was like, oh, it's okay if it, it doesn't happen today. It takes time. You just got to think of something that makes you. She's like, I know exactly what to think of. And she thinks of it, and then the light shows. And like, oh, I guess. And she even, like Claire or someone even says, well, I guess everybody else just sucks at it. And I'm like, that's the explanation for her advanced magical system. And
Literally.
why is 10-year-old Lissa doing so much better with her magic than her older sister with her magic?
So I'm just all sorts of confused.
Yeah.
And then Keely and Gideon go off, but they go off separately and happen to.
Gideon's tasked by Tristan to get the second copy, or not the second copy, the second copy of the storybook Prophecy, like the Book of Renadon.
The Book of Renadon.
So he's like thinking of things. He's like, you know what? Most obvious place, no one would look. I'm going to the library. So he goes to the library.
Yeah.
Talks to the librarian. Her name is Mo. They have a little thing. Up behind him, Keely's there, and she's like dressed in like an actual dress, and he's like, struck it on. Everything.
He's like, oh my
god, love her, even without the armor,
baby.
And she's like, what are you doing here? And he's like, what are you doing here? And she's like, I go here. This is like my safe place.
Yeah.
What are you doing here? We're not in. I know what you're tasked with. You're not. It's not going to be here. 1 and 2. We're not involving my friend here, Mo.
Yeah.
And he's like, I thought it would be like a good idea because it's the most obvious place. No one would look. Blah blah blah. And so they asked Mo. Mo's like, no, it's not here. Trust me. And then they decide they're talking about, oh my god, I forget how it really comes up, but she has mentioned something about like the first castle before like the Gleaming Palace.
Before the Gleaming
Mo's
Palace.
like, oh, like I don't have the Renadon thing, but there's this cute little story I could tell you about. And they're like, sure, tell us. And she's like, oh, did you ever hear of like the first palace before the Gleaming one? And they're like, there was another palace and like, from the kings and stuff. I was like, yeah. And they're like, well, where is it? Maybe it's there because maybe that's where the second copy will be. And then she's like, oh, did you ever hear of Massacre Manor?
Yeah.
So they're running back thinking that the second storybook is in Massacre Manor. And I'm like, if it's been there this whole fucking time.
Yep. So everyone is like gathering.
Yes.
And we split back off again, POV wise, and we go to
every
Claire
other chapter is a different POV.
It is. We go to Claire and Tati, who are in Massacre Manor, and they're having a conversation about their relationship. And
we're looking for the storybook in the basement.
And they're having a conversation.
It gets a little spicy.
It gets a little spicy, which I loved. Once again, I'm standing there while my husband is doing his like arm crunch set, and I'm like,
you're like,
he looked at me and he's like, what happened? I was like, I can't believe what's going on in my ears right now. But like Tati and Claire essentially profess their love again,
and they get together
to each other. Yeah. And they're like, well, Claire's like, oh, well, are we betrothed again? And Tati's like, oh, no. I need a big, extravagant, romantic proposal. You can't just ask if we're betrothed again. So like they are getting cutie and playful, and then they start making out and then doing other things. And
spicy.
Very spicy.
Not as spicy as
I mean, to
like
be honest,
13 piece spicy.
I could have done with a lot more spice.
Oh yeah, 100%.
That's fine. Whatever, I understand.
Yeah.
But in the process of them doing this spicy stuff, they like find something.
Yeah, Tati finds like a glitter tablecloth. She's obsessed with it. She's like, I'm gonna take this, and she pulls it up, and then underneath of it is what she finds. Now
we're the picture
again. Back to the office. Everyone's involved.
To the office, yeah.
And what Tati had found is a portrait of like the first king or like the second king, something like that, and it looks exactly like Tristan.
Exactly like him,
except for he's smiling and like happy in the portrait and stuff like that, which Tristan doesn't usually do
unless he's with Evie.
And it was like this whole thing, and I'm like, okay, but then it never gets mentioned again, so I don't know.
It does a little bit because Tati and Claire, everyone scatters, and it's just Evie and Tristan left looking at the portrait. And Evie's like, isn't that the table that's in the kitchen?
You're right. It does help with a clue.
Yeah. Tristan's like, I mean, if it's this manor, that's the table that's in the kitchen.
Clues.
She saw a big old blue paw print on it. And
like, isn't that? Immediately, I thought it was a Blue's Clues.
I think that's wonderful. So Blue's Clues, her first Blue's Clue is the table. And she's like, how strange that this table would still be here in Massacre Manor this long after this portrait was painted. Crazy. I feel like we should go look in the kitchen. And he's like, yeah, okay. I mean, that makes sense. That makes sense. So they go to the kitchen, and then once again, everyone is in the kitchen.
And she realizes that the window in the portrait is a blank window, and there's a book underneath of it, and it's a storybook. So they go to her favorite window in the kitchen. That's the stained glass one.
Correct. And everyone's in there. So like,
and then everyone's there again.
Blade, Becky, the two baby Guarves, Lissa, Tristan, Evie, Kingsley is in there. Malcolm is not in there.
But they don't do anything about the stained glass window yet, because they have to go talk to, what's his name? Orson's son.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
They have to go down to the basement. They go down to the basement torture chambers. They talk to Orson's son, and they're like, hey, I thought you were gonna like destroy the window. Clearly that wasn't it. What were you doing? And he's like, oh, we needed the Guar's venom to like take out the window prophecy.
Yeah.
But you can't do that because you don't have them. And they're like, jokes on you. We have two little baby Guarves.
We have two Guarves.
Thank you very much. So then they go back up into the kitchen, and then they have this whole thing.
Yeah.
Where they're trying to get, and then for some reason also, they're trying to get the little baby Guarves to use their venom to bring out this prophecy book. Right? And that's great.
Yeah.
Why is it Lissa that comes in? She's like, I have an idea. Uses her starlight magic.
Like,
I don't know what. I don't know what it's doing.
She blasted it.
You their venom.
Yep.
And then
a book.
A book appears.
In Evie's hand.
Tell me how.
In Evie's hands.
I don't understand the magic system whatsoever.
It makes no sense. Also, how does Lissa know to do it? It makes no sense. First of all, okay, I'm gonna backwards swoon for a second.
Okay,
so after they question Otto Warson's son, I don't know how he just skimmed right over this part.
You're right. I forgot about chapter 37.
Is chapter 37 in the book, and I don't have that written down. I have it committed to memory at this point.
But he references chapter 6.
He references chapter 6. Yeah, of course it's society. So they're talking, and finally Evie is like, okay, I accept the fact that you love me, and you accept the fact that I love you, and I'm accepting this. And in my head, I was like, fucking finally.
Seriously, Jesus. 4 books later.
God, 4 books later, we're finally confessing. Everything's good. So they are getting hot and heavy against a wall, right?
In the dungeon where
Blade has
right outside. Joked about before, yeah.
Yes, like right outside of these doors to the prisoners. And so he has her like pinned against the wall. They're making out and touching everywhere. And like he pulls back, and she's like, oh, and he drops to his knees. And she said, what are you doing? And he said, chapter 6.
Chapter 6. So a running joke throughout this book is that Tristan is now reading A Corset Society.
Which is a smut book.
It's
like Bridgerton in my head.
Yeah, which is like a smut book in this series, right?
Yeah.
And so they're all kind of like making fun of him, and they're like, "Oh, did you get to chapter 6 yet? Did you get to chapter 6?" So like that's like their running joke, right? So when he drops to his knees finally and says chapter 6, it was a good full circle moment. I thought was very good. Yes,
my mouth dropped to the floor, and I was like, "Wow."
Well, you know what is so funny is that Hannah was like on her TikToks and social media, and she was like, "Oh, what's your favorite thing?" And she just kept saying chapter 6. So I read chapter 6 of the book, and I was like, "That's your favorite thing?" Now I understand. I know now.
Nope.
Now I know.
It's actually
I
chapter
thought she meant
6.
physically. Yeah.
Yeah,
Physically.
no.
I was like, that's it?
You're like, oh, okay.
No.
Nope.
I was like, did I miss something here, Hannah? But no, yeah,
Nope.
no, I get it.
This chapter 6. But yeah, he gets on his knees and is underneath of her skirt, and that is all I'm gonna say, because essentially that's all Hannah says, and it's
Yeah.
very upsetting.
I let my mind wander.
Oh, absolutely. But then he comes up for air, you know, and like they're kissing again, and he's like, you have like no idea how long like I wanted to do that. And she was like, you're lying. And he's like, every time you would sit on my desk, why do you think I would walk away and like pace? Like it would take me so long to like calm myself down because I wanted to like take you right fucking there. Like, come on. And I'm like, oh, why didn't you?
I know. We could have had so many great
this
times.
whole time.
This whole time.
This whole time. So chapter 6, that was the best.
Yeah.
And then we go back into the kitchen, and this is where Blade is like kind of wary about Kingsley. So
And Kingsley has also said a few things where when they were looking for the book, he was like, oh, I hope they don't find it. Or like he knew that they were all doomed and like all this stuff. I'm like,
yeah.
What are you talking about right now? What do you know that nobody else knows?
He knows something for sure.
100%.
And I don't know if he can't communicate it or if he's being sketchy.
I think he's being sketchy.
I know you do. And I just don't want that to happen. But he says like out loud, well, I guess we just have to break the window and see if that works. And Blade said that there was something ominous about that. Like, he's like, I don't know, because obviously we're in Blade's head now. He's like, I don't know what, but there's something weird about the way that he said that.
Yeah.
And I literally put, wait, so the baby givers,
whatever they are,
blew fire on the window and the book appeared, but it wasn't fire, it was poison.
It was their venom.
So confused. And
with how the flash of light.
How did Lissa know to just go up behind them and say, all of a sudden it worked?
That's what I'm saying. Like, I've never been this confused in my life. Like, we have 3 other books, and those books, I was never once like maybe like, oh, what? But I am so confused, and I'm hoping at the end she was like, haha, this is why you were so confused. But like,
I'm really hoping that too. I'm hoping that it's not like a multiverse type thing where like, I don't know. In my mind, I'm terrified that like, really, we're gonna get to All Hallows Eve and that thing happens. The Destiny monster says it's gonna happen.
Yeah,
and
but no longer
Evie
remember.
found a loophole, or Blade found a loophole to go back in time and do this, and that's why we're having weird time jumps. I'm trying to think of a reason why this would be happening.
The only one I can think of is that Hannah is like, okay, Evie's going through all of this stuff. She herself is confused. And even though we get everybody's POV, this is like an Evie and Tristan book.
But then
and we resonate more with Evie. So like, I'm wondering if she's trying to convey like, hey,
this is what's happening in Evie's mind.
Yeah, and then like when you jump to somebody else, this is what's happening in Blade's mind, and it's supposed to be like everyone's kind of confused, but not confused, but confused.
I could see that if it was just from Evie's POV.
Yeah.
And like when we jumped to Blade's POV, it was back to kind of
this is
like
why I also think
Hannah's
it's a memory
normal writing.
Thing.
Something is wrong with the time. Something is wrong with the sequence of events, or we're just fucking insane and we're trying to rationalize it. But it doesn't make
something is definitely different in this book for sure.
Something's different.
I don't know if it's just the writing style, because I'm not like an analytical reader, so like I'm not picking up on certain things. If like, like, oh, they used it this way when they really would word sentences that way. I mean, fuck if
I got nothing. Yeah,
I ain't got none on that. So like, if something's different in a book like this, I don't know if it is the writing style, because this is now her 4th book versus her 1st book. Obviously, you're gonna, change over time and stuff like that.
But
so I don't know if it's just a writing style,
not
or if
this
it's like
dramatically.
A purposeful thing to
it has to be. That's what I keep
part of the story.
It has to be purposeful. That's what I'm gonna stick with. Is it has to be purposeful, and because like, and then we go to Gideon mentions that because like Evie has the book now, right?
Mm-hmm.
And Gideon's like, huh, I mean, that looks like Renadon's storybook, but like it's also different.
The colors are
The
different. or something
colors
like
are
that.
different. Like Benedict's book had silver sprayed edges, and the book that Evie's holding has rainbow
Swirls, yeah.
sprayed edges.
Yeah.
So like, and then they open the book and there's nothing, and she keeps flipping because Tristan tells her to, and like randomly on a page there's another riddle, and I'm not even going to tell you what it is because I don't remember, because it's not my fucking job to solve riddles.
Something about a core healer fixing the sickness of the world, and then it's
the
Evie
sickness.
Sage.
It literally has her name
and a picture of her.
picture.
Yeah.
In this book. So this is what I'm thinking. Like it has to be like a multiverse or time traveling fucking something, because how would Evie's picture and name be in a book that was in the Massacre Manor when it was housing
Destiny.
the princes? I'm just so confused.
Yeah, with Destiny and
about
Fate,
that.
they lay everything out already. Like it is what it is. Like they have their blueprints. That's what it is. So they're just finding the blueprints, I'm assuming.
So like years and centuries and millennia ago, these ancestors are like, oh, I don't know who this person is. Maybe it'll be relevant later. And they hid the book. Like it just doesn't sit well with me. And it doesn't make sense to me.
It's a storybook.
I know, but it's hot. It's not like how Tristan's ancestor, it looks like Tristan, but like clearly there were some differences. We know that this is this king. This was Evie Sage.
Yeah.
And a picture of
Name
Evie
and picture.
Sage.
Yeah,
name and picture. So
Yeah.
way before Evie was born, way before Evie's parents were born, way before Evie's great grandparents were born.
She's the chosen one.
Apparently, before she was even fucking a little piece of starlight in her mother's eyes, she was a chosen one.
She was a chosen one. Fate and Destiny was like, Evie Sage,
This bitch
chosen
right
one.
here, we're gonna
One of
grab
them
her.
or both of them. I don't really know if Fate and Destiny are the same, or if they're fighting, or if they're lovers. I don't know what they are.
I don't know what
but,
they
like,
are either. But then Keely run. No, who runs into the room? Blade? Who's not there? Who runs in and says you got to come right now, Malevolent Claire? Claire runs in and she's like, y'all need to come outside right fucking now. The Malevolent Guard is out here. And Tristan's like,
the Valiant Guard.
Valiant Guard. Sorry, my bad. I'm so sorry.
Wrong side.
Wrong side. Wrong side.
We like the Malevolent Guard.
Yes. The Valiant Guard's out there, and Tristan's like, Claire, like it's okay, like they can't get in,
in.
no one can get out because of the thingamajigger. And they're like, no, you.
The
She's like,
thorn
no, you don't understand. They have Malcolm.
Yeah.
And Tristan's like, this fucker has been back for 10 minutes, and he's causing me so much fucking issues.
Malcolm left to give Winnie back to Amara, Tristan's mom, because Arthur has passed. She wanted to go back to help with his funeral.
Yes.
Because he was always kind to her and all this other stuff, and she thought she could help and stuff. So he was like, yep, I'll escort you. Malcolm would then escort her back. So I guess in that time he got captured.
They captured, but it's always fucking Malcolm. I feel like he's always in the center of fucking trouble. So they go outside.
He's been in here since like book 1.
I know, and that's the problem. He's been in here for 10 seconds and he's already causing issues.
True.
And so they go outside and they're like, all right. And like Tristan and Evie are playing it like really fucking cool. They're like, what's going on? Like, what are we doing?
They're like,
here?
what do you want? Let's
what do you
want?
Trade. Yeah. And they're like, well, we want to trade Malcolm for the Wicked Woman. And Evie says, oh, I'm so sorry, boys. I'm already taken.
Yeah.
And Tristan said,
you are. And she's like,
is it me? And she's like, I pictured the Grinch, like at the end when Martha May, UVA,
my heart already belongs to someone else.
And the Grinch is like, me? Yeah. And I feel like that was Tristan in that moment. And I think it's so funny because the Valiant Guard's literally standing right there holding Malcolm hostage.
Yeah, and Malevolent Guard's like, yeah, guys, what are we doing? And Kingsley's like, give them a moment.
A moment to start this. I'm cracking up. But she's like, I mean, yeah, if like you want to be. And he's like, I do. I want to be. I want to be right now. Can we?
He's like,
can
I
we
want to
be
be
right now?
taken by you. Yes,
absolutely. Yes. When can we do that? And the
So they're like
Valiant
officially
Guard's
together.
like, yeah, they are officially official. And the Valiant Guard's like, okay, guys, hi, we're trying to trade. Like,
yeah.
we're trying to do something.
Hostage trade here,
And
please.
yeah, the villain is like, or Tristan's like, oh, I mean, like, I'm not giving you her, obviously. This is not fucking hanging. I'm gonna give you a bunch of gold, enough gold so you can like leave
Yeah.
Benny's command. And they're like, Benedict's is the one who's like trying to fix things. And he's like, y'all are fucking sorry mistaken. And Evie's like, you know what, we'll do the trade. And Tristan's like, what? And they're like, what? And then she goes, Keely, now. And Keely shoots an arrow into Malcolm's heart, and that's when we end. That's where it's
Yeah,
over.
that's where chapter 40 ends. And that's why I read chapter 41 and 42 and
I
43.
did not do that. If I read
I will not talk about it, but
if I read
had
on,
to.
I couldn't. And I was like,
had to. I was like,
what's wrong? No.
I was like, Keely, crazy. I know. It's crazy.
We have so many theories. What was your theory? Oh, your theory was that like every window in the manor,
Every
was,
stained
like,
glass window that he rearranged
is a different
part
part
of the storybook.
of
yes.
the storybook. And I think that's why we maybe have so many blank pages. Like if they were to do that with the book and the Givras, Guards,
Yeah.
Givers, and had them do that with the book nearby, would another page, because like
Right.
it was used with like invisible ink, right? Blue ink. So like, is that the
Right.
smoke and the boop, and does it reveal a new page?
Why their venom? Why Alyssa's light? Why any of it?
Why any of it? How does this all fit in?
The other thing I also want to point out is there are running themes in this book, as in any book. And I understand that. I love the theme of, anytime a woman, it's a lot of feminism, I would say, but like anytime, basically it's, women empowerment. And like anytime you step out of line or step up for yourself, the man's going to like try to put you down and make you the enemy and make you look evil, blah, blah, blah. I get that. I got that message. She says it quite a few times in different ways. And I'm like, okay, I got it. I understood the message.
I get it. We've gotten it since literal book one. We get you.
We don't need to repeat it. And then it's not even like it's implied. Like she has characters say, well, when women act out or when women try to do it, and I'm like, what are we doing here? Why are we really forcing this issue all of a sudden?
See, that doesn't bother me.
I
didn't even notice
it when it's subtly and like, oh yeah, this is great because it's women empowerment, whatever.
Yeah.
But when it flat out says things like that, I immediately am like, what are we doing? It feels preachy to me.
Okay.
And even though I agree with it, it still
feels a little much.
Yeah. Even if I agree with it.
I support you, but can we dial it back just a little bit?
I support what you're saying. You don't need to scream it in my face. Thank you.
No, we understand. We are
I'm
here
on the
with
same
you.
page.
We are here with you. That's funny because like I don't think that I noticed that necessarily.
It came up a lot with Mo, the librarian. If you go back and you read their whole conversation, it came up.
I feel
a
like
lot
I
with
need
Mo.
to reread all of that because it literally felt like a fever dream to me, and I know I've
All
said
of it
that
is a
so
fever
many
dream.
times.
That's the thing. Like the writing, it's not. And again, I think it's because in the first book, it's literally just the villain and Evie. And the second book, it's Evie and the villain, and then maybe one other POV.
Yeah,
and then this
like
one,
just
you get everybody. So it's so chaotic.
It's chaos
and
everywhere.
Everything's happening all at once.
And I'm telling you, she's doing that for a reason. I really am telling you that she's doing that for a reason. I think that there's a reason for all the chaos. There's a reason for all of the time jumps. There has to be. She loves Taylor Swift.
I will also say though,
if
she erases their memories, I'm gonna throw the book.
You know it's gonna happen though. You know it's gonna happen because we have a whole nother fucking book. So at least. So what's gonna happen? Like Evie can't just come into her powers and love Tristan and call it a day. They can't solve this mystery and the book and all that shit in this book because we still have at least another book. Yeah. So you know that something is coming that is going to drag them apart and it's going to piss us off, and we're gonna have to wait another fucking year to
If not
figure out,
more.
if not more. She's been pretty consistent. It's been every
has.
August.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping that remains the same. Thinking about waiting another fucking year is actually stressful to me, but she's been very consistent with her release date. So like I'm pretty confident that we'll have book 5 next August, but I don't know. I'm scared to figure out what that is. There's a catch. There's a catch somewhere.
There has to be.
These two are like not destined to be happy together until they break something, until they solve this fucking book
prophecy
shit,
or
yes,
they decide to break it or whatever.
They're not destined to be together. So something is going to continue to try to separate them, and I know it's coming.
Yeah,
I only have
fate or destiny or whatever
it is. I only have 4 hours left, in less than that at this point. It's probably 3.5 hours left in the audiobook to finish out. Well, I'm listening at like 1.5 speed. So like that could be why too. But
I was like, wow, that would take me forever. 45 chapters? Jeez.
But like for another 25 chapters, only like 3.5 hours. Like I feel like
no, it's 45. It's 85 chapters. We read to 40.
Yeah, 45 more chapters. What did I say?
25.
Oh, for 45 more chapters. For 45 more chapters, I just feel like I should have more time on my.
I mean, I could read 10 chapters if I'm really, really, really reading it. Depending, it's like probably an hour and a half.
Now I have to actually check. How much
so if you 1, 2, 3, that's about 4 hours. We'll say 5 just to be nice. So you have 3.5.
I have 4 hours and 43 minutes left.
Okay, so yeah,
that seems a little bit more.
Yeah,
at 1.2 speed.
Yeah.
So that seems a little bit more okay, that makes me feel a little bit better. I still feel like there's a lot that needs to happen in this 4 hours, and there's a lot that is going to happen in this 4 hours, and I'm stressed about how it's gonna fucking happen.
It's gonna be so chaotic still, I feel.
It's gonna be really chaotic. I think that we're just gonna have to really hunker down and pay attention to what's happening.
I'm not good at that.
I know. Well, that's what my husband has a procedure tomorrow, and I'm going with him. And my mother-in-law is watching my child, so I'm going to be sitting in a waiting room, and I'm hunkering down and I'm listening. People are going to think I'm crazy because I'm going to be sitting there. I'm bringing my notepad, and I'm going to be writing down things that I need to write down because.
Good for you for writing them down, because this is like a read and then record instead of like recording something we've already read.
Yes, yeah.
So like I didn't write down anything. I was like, oh, we'll just talk about it. And then you were like, I have my notepad. I was like,
it's literally, I've been listening while I'm working, and every time something comes up, I pause, I grab my notepad that's right there, and I scribble it down in my chicken scratch. I put it down, I hit play, and I continue working because I'm like, I need to remember this, or like this is a quote that I want to do. Oh, one of the quotes I didn't talk about. I don't even freaking remember when this was, but Tristan said, "Now do me," and Evie said, "In what respect?"
And you know what my favorite quote is? That's a good one.
Like,
my favorite quote was, she's like, what happened to no office fraternization policy?
Yeah.
And he's like, I burned it.
I burned it.
Of course you did. Of course you did, Tristan.
I need a petition for the graphic audio of this book right fucking now.
Yeah.
Thank you, everyone. Because I want it.
Yes. But make it happen, please.
We have hit our hour.
Yes.
And
we've run out of things to talk about during these 30 chapters. So we'll have to go next week for the next 45 chapters.
Yeah.
So excited to see what actually happens. See if anything else crazy happens. We'll let you know if I light my book on fire. If I light my book on fire, if you see an Instagram post of me burning this book, it has nothing to do with the author and the fact that like I don't like her, because I do. I'm just pissed off at the material
pissed off
wrote and the feelings she made me feel.
And also we have another version because we're psychos and we have to buy 2 versions of but yeah, it's a problem. It's fine. But yeah, join us next Friday for the final installment of Adversary to the Villain, the brand new freaking book that literally was just released on August 4th last week. And we'll finish it up. And I really hope that I'm not sitting here pissed or crying or any other bad emotions. I don't want any of the bad emotions.
No bad emotion. We want happy. This is supposed to be a happy book.
Happy,
whimsical, fun book.
I thought this was the end, and it is not. to
We keep
rest.
doing this to ourselves.
Yeah, that's why we're here. I mean, we got to talk about it. But all right, guys, have
Join
a
us next
great
week.
day. Come see us next
Thank
week.
you. See ya.
Bye.